Well, well, CFB Keith. I know what it is already. You can tell by the shirt. You know what time it is. Oh, this is the precursor. Hey Trenches, how you doing, my friend? I'm going to. It's just a test. See how it is. See if I'm doing this thing right. Uh, Someone suggested if I or asked if I was going to do a live stream, and I said I don't know. I'll think about it, but I'm gonna have to learn somehow or another do this live stream stuff. So here's the test stream. If there's any Alabama fans in here, y'all can flame me and tell me how goofy I look. But guess what? You're watching me. So that must make you goofy too. I don't know. Anyway, so if y'all got any questions or concerns, y'all can go ahead and address them. I'll sit here patiently and wait. But this is just a test stream, so I'll talk a little bit about college football and everything playoff wise and whatnot. Updates from Georgia that I've seen on Dog Nation as of lately. They had a press conference with Stetson Bennett, Nolan Smith, Jordan Davis, and I think N'Kobe Dean. I think that's right. I'm just looking right here at it, and pretty much Jordan Davis said, "Yeah, we were out of shape. I was out of shape, and that affected my playing. I think he was playing around the 360 mark, and it kind of slowed him down a little bit. He wasn't at game speed, or not in the weight that he um, was looking to be. So yeah, so yes, that is apparently what was going on. But Jordan Davis has said that they have been running and running and done some more running, conditioning, and more conditioning. So I think that is going to be something that cannot be overlooked. I think that he's trying to get to 340. Jordan Davis is. So that's going to be something that is going to be looked at, and it's going to be really something that us Georgia fans are going to be looking forward to see. Of course, it didn't seem like we were playing to the same speed that we had been playing all season long, and it kind of showed as we dropped the ball. What was it, 41 to 24? Yeah, 17-point difference. It was a blowout. People thought that Georgia should have won that game. I thought we should have won that game, but you can't score 24, give up 24 points in the second quarter, and that's just something that just can't be done. Well, I'm pretty sure they've been working out for at least Jordan Davis made mention that they'd start this um going towards the Michigan game, so he was already down the weight, but they've been actually picking up they've been picking up more conditioning because they're trying to get to the next level. So you go from the championship game, they knew something was wrong. They added more conditioning for the Michigan game. That's why you saw such a domination of Michigan. And then they doing even more condition now on top of the conditioning they were doing for Michigan so they can beat Bama. Um, I'm sure you're gonna see a different Georgia team, and I'm sure that Bryce Young will get sacked more than 0 times. Um, that was the sack total for Georgia, and I think that's a very low number. In fact, it's 0. You can't get any worse than 0. So it's only going to go up from 0, or it's going to stay the same. And my guess is it's going to go up. And it has to. If Georgia wants to win the game, it has to go up. I am wearing a chain. Yes, Megan M, I am wearing a chain. That's silver. That's if you I know that's my silver chain. Yeah, bling bling. Yep. Bing bling. Yep. That's right. Um yeah, this was a graduation present. My dad when I graduated high school about 10 years ago, and it's been about 10 years since I've graduated high school, so in fact this year will be the 10th year. But yeah, Georgia's colors are in fact red, Georgia red, black, and silver. Um, that's all three colors. Of course, red and black are the main colors. Silver is the third color, or for all you smarties out there, a tertiary color. Um, yeah, that's right. I have my class ring. I don't wear my class ring. It's I've worn it in the past, but I don't. I think 2 years after high school, I quit wearing it. It just makes me feel old now. Um, but anyway, this is what I will be wearing um tomorrow for the Georgia game. It will be it will minus the chain though. Um, but this is what I'll be wearing minus the chain for the Alabama Georgia games. It will also be the same outfit I will be wearing if we lose or win the video after that. So if we lose, I will be eating crow, which I hear tastes just like fried chicken. Um, so yeah, yeah, Hoss, I do think it's kind of ridiculous. Um, but that's now if you wear a class ring, that's all on you. Um, it's some for me. It's just something to remember to. It's for memory's sake, you know. It's nothing that I'll go around going, "Ooh, I graduated high school," you know. There are people out there who don't graduate high school and don't have families that have the money to buy class rings. So I don't want to make them upset. You never know. You could walk into a job and your boss be someone who never graduated high school and didn't have the money for a class ring. And anyway, I try to avoid all of all that kind of stuff, but it does seem a little silly. I quit wearing mine 2 years after high school. So when I was about 20, I stopped wearing it. Well, I don't really wear my chain that much. I need to start wearing it all the time. Apparently, I saw some kind of video on YouTube a while back that says girls like drip. Is that what we like? Is that what the kids call it these days? Drip these days? Yeah, I believe they do. So if you wear jewelry like chains and stuff like that, it apparently makes you more attractive. I don't know about all that, but yeah, I got my Georgia throw blanket here. That's right, I got a Georgia throw blanket. I'm donning Georgia all the way down. I got my Georgia button up, my Georgia hat, and my Georgia shorts on, and I'm ready to go. This thing needed to be played yesterday. And I'm not. I think it's kind of silly for the game not to be played on Saturday. I think it's really dumb. Like, I don't know. We'll have to. Megan, you are the girl in here. Do you like it when Carter wears jewelry, or does he even wear jewelry? Or have you ever been attracted to a guy who wore jewelry, or as the kids say, drip? We'll be we'll be waiting for that answer, I'm pretty sure, here in a minute. But yeah, this is pretty much a test stream. In fact, I'm gonna go ahead. I know everybody here, um, and whatnot. uh, oh man. Okay, so I'm gonna come in here and do this because I'm gonna need some help. Um, so trenches, chess. If y'all wanna help a brother out, drop that in there. Um, y'all can come in here. I'll see what I can't do. Like I said, I'm trying to learn this live streaming stuff, and um, it's gonna. Chess, you might have to get that looked at. Megan M says you might have to get that look at, and I don't know about that, but Megan, Chess says that he's got the Gucci, whatever that is. So anyway, so how's your days been going? Oh, oh my gosh, come on, Chess. Oh man. So how's all of your days been going? Has your day been going well? You had a great week? Questions or concerns? Um, my question is, why do the people who say roll tide think lightning can strike twice at the same location? I don't know. That's just an old adage. Um, don't blame me. I didn't come up with it. So what's today? January 8th. It's it's what is it? 8 days in or 9 days in the new year? Have you been It's been 8 days, 9 days in from the start of the new year. Have you been keeping up with your New Year's resolutions? Just answer me if y'all been keeping up with your New Year's resolutions. Of course, I have been keeping up with mine. I've been keeping up with mine. So we've got National Signing Day coming up after the football season. Um, Florida has taken a back seat. Leather jacket. Now Hoss did that coach get that leather jacket from the thrift store, or did he actually buy Gucci or Versace or, you let me know, Tiffany's? Does he got some cufflinks on that leather jacket there? Can you even put cufflinks on a jacket? Hoss, I would think you would know about that. Has Nick Saban converted a championship ring into cufflinks? Or is that even possible? You let me know. So that's something that needs to be addressed, I believe. I think Georgia will finish ahead of Alabama in the recruiting rankings. I believe that to be true. I also think Texas A&M will finish number 1 above Georgia and Alabama in the recruiting rankings. Nice, Hoss, nice. It was a gift from Kirby. Okay. Well, we know Kirby's dad is Nick Saban. We fully got that. But maybe it's time for the young blood, for the grasshopper, to teach the master a thing or two when it comes to football. Because I think Nick Saban has gotten away from the dominant defenses that they used to have. And maybe that was because Kirby left Nick Saban. Maybe Kirby is a better defensive mind than Nick Saban. Offensively, no. Definitely not an offensive genius. But defensive guru, yes. How much is he better? I don't know. Maybe they're the same. Maybe he's not better than Nick Saban. But what I can tell you is the numbers don't lie, and it seems every year Georgia's defense has given up what, like less than cl- close to, if not two score average. So like last year, I think it was like uh 13 or 14, but this year it's like close to 11, like 10 and a half. We'll see if that continues because that was we've all experienced the seasons, but this year's going to be the biggest drop off, I'm thinking. Nolan Smith is the number 2 recruit of all time at Georgia, and he might be leaving come next year, but he also might stay. So that's something to think about there. Now, now, Hoss, I don't. You weren't in the chat when I was talking last night. You weren't talking. You were gone. You left. But I referred to Nick Saban in Alabama to King Solomon and his offspring. And I'll tell you a story. And I believe Alabama's in big trouble. And I believe Georgia's in the same boat with Alabama, don't get me wrong. Alabama and Georgia have been the number 1 and number 2 teams in the SEC East. Granted, last year Florida had a better team than Georgia, but it's pretty much consistently been Georgia. There have been times where Alabama in their dynasty was the number 2 team. Think back to Cam Newton's days in 2010 at Auburn when he made Alabama look pathetic. But that was a one-off thing, just like I believe Florida was the one-off thing for Georgia. Now, besides all of that, I think what puts these two dominant programs in trouble is, especially for Alabama, you have Brian Kelly coming to LSU. You have Jimbo Fisher at Texas A&M, who all he plans about. I mean, I bet he's got a pinup of Nick Saban. I don't know how he got it, and I'm not asking questions, but I think he has a pinup of Nick Saban, and he just focuses in on Nick Saban and just stares down from head to toe Nick Saban trying to find a way to win. So that happened this year, and it might happen a few more times and come the next 2 or 3 seasons. Of course, after this season, I'm talking about. And then you have Sam Pittman, who won a New Year's Six game, and Arkansas hasn't had that success since Darren McFadden. Yeah, that guy. And then you got old Lane Kiffin over at Ole Miss. They're getting good. They had a New Year's Six appearance. They lost, but that loss, I believe, was solely on the fact that Matt Corral sprained his ankle and couldn't had a bad sprain on his ankle and couldn't return back to the game. That's what I think happened, and that's the reason why he didn't come back. But you got those 4 teams making a push. I think Auburn is probably going to be one of the worst teams. I think if you're an Alabama fan in the chat right now, you gotta be happy that Auburn will never play you hard for the next 2 to 3 seasons. Why? Because Brian Harsons is a joke. He's an absolute joke, and I think I think 3 or 4 seasons he's gone. I don't know how they're gonna afford a new head coach after this, but that's what I think. This Brian Harsons fellow is a scam, just like Scam Newton. Yeah. And South Carolina, the Carolina Panthers, I should say, they're from North Carolina. The Carolina Panthers are figuring out that Cam Newton has dropped off, and he is indeed Scam Newton. But with that being said, what do you think? What Alabama fans in there? What do you think is the most problematic team in the future for Alabama going further? Let me know. Let me know. Um, I believe Georgia, the team Georgia might have to watch out for. That's hard to say. I'd probably say Kentucky. Kentucky won their New Year's Six bowl game. Tennessee has this weird, funky offense. It's kind of glass cannon, and by that I mean it's it's kind of this tricky, um, finesse kind of offense. And once you figured it out one time, you've probably got a good game plan against it. But I think those 2 teams have rose up a bit. Kentucky is no longer just a basketball school. They are indeed a football school now. And they've had a pretty good offensive line to boot with that. I I, I personally think that there's going to be more competition in the SEC going forward. I really do. And so I'm just doing some live stream here. And guess what? And you know what I will say? I will say thank you everybody that tuned into this test stream ordeal. Yeah. I'm just trying to figure out stuff and trying to learn the game. And you can't ever learn if you don't try, right? That's right. What are all right, let me ask you Alabama fans another question. Oh, thank you, Hoss. Hey, Hoss. Since I see you in here, I know Megan M's an Alabama fan. What is your favorite? What has been the biggest surprise? Let me start this. What's been your biggest surprise for your team, player wise, this season? Biggest surprise. I'll wait. Cue the Jeopardy music. Bum 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 bum. Did you know that I also come with sound effects? That's right. Bet you didn't know that. Do 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 do. All right. Well, I'll tell you my biggest and best surprise that I got this season. That would be Brock Bowers, the man who might actually put 200 yards on Alabama. Slade Bolden, yeah, I think he's him and Lad McConkey. Now McConkey's been a nice surprise too. But I think Slade Bolden and Lad McConkey are kind of in the same boat. Um, and I mean this game is the perfect time for either player who's trying to make a name for themselves to make a name for themselves. This is there's a song, "This is where legends are made," and that can't be any further from the truth. I mean, that can't even be closer than what the truth is on that. Not further, but closer. Because indeed, if you have a great game in here in this national championship game, you're remembered for ever on whatever the case may be, a fan page, an ESPN 30 for 30, ESPN Classic, whatever the case may be. Um, Brock Bowers was a real interesting one. I knew Darnell Washington looked like he had some upside with him. Of course, if you're 6'8", 280 pounds, then you should have some upside. But Brock Bowers, I I didn't know too much about him. I was I was really worried about us not having Eric Gilbert there, but it looks like it looks like this Brock Bowers guy is he's going to be a Heisman. Mark my words, he's probably going to win a Heisman. And he's probably going to be the all-time Georgia receiver. He's probably going to have over 1,000 receiving yards one season, and that's just going to be something that I'm looking forward to see. I think he's got over 850 yards. I think it's like 861 or something like that, or 859, something like that. He's got that many yards receiving, a lot of touchdowns. He broke the touchdown record, receiving touchdown record for a tight end at Georgia. Um, that was a single season record. Um, of course, he had 130 yards receiving against Alabama. So, and he looks like one of these guys that's a matchup problem. He's a great blocker. He's got great top speed. He can play like a wide receiver. He's 6'4" and weighs 250, 260 pounds. If that's not a DB's worst nightmare, I don't know what is. forget about Alabama. Name a DB that could possibly one-on-one coverage handle that. I'll give you all the time in the world because you can't. You can't name one. And I know I'm gushing over Brock Bowers. My only concern for Brock Bowers is I hope he doesn't get hurt. I hope he stays healthy and everything, just like I hope Slade Bolden stays healthy and everything, and hopefully he does his stuff and becomes one of the threats on Alabama's team in the future, but not the future of tomorrow. Maybe the future of the day after tomorrow. Yeah. I think I think probably one of the biggest surprises for y'all, Haas, was Jamison Williams. I mean, you never know what you're going to get from the transfer portal. Are you going to get someone who's really good? Or are you going to get someone who thinks who's entitled and think that they should play, but they're not really a team player? You never can tell what you're getting, and that's a really big thing. I think as a Georgia fan, we need to score in the second half of this game, though. We haven't quite scored enough in the second half. We might score 10 points. Let's be honest, 10 points ain't nearly enough in the second half. We need to score, I would say, at least 21 to 24 points in the second half to beat Alabama, and at least 17 in the first half. And if you add those two numbers up, it comes out to a good old 41 points. You do that, the team who does that, and the team who plays the best defense will, of course, win the game. Now, I'll tell you somebody. There's three names for Alabama going into the future after this season that you're gonna watch out for. Well, two of them might be going to the NFL. I don't know if Fedarian Mathis is a junior or senior, if he's thinking about going to the NFL, or if he's going to stay another year. Will Anderson, I believe, is going to be off to the NFL this coming up season. Um, it is what it is. The the NFL, um, of course, the high school giveth, the NFL taketh away. That's that's the gospel truth of football and college football. So I've so here's something, and I want somebody to tell me what their thoughts are on this. But I've been hearing that Caleb Williams. I don't know where I came up with Matthews. Don't know. Don't ask. Don't tell. Um, but I heard that Caleb Williams is has been targeted by the Auburn Tigers of all teams. The Auburn Tigers to play football for them. Now, I have a big issue with name, image, and likeness, and it's not because the players are getting paid too much money. No, I don't. I don't have a problem with that. What I have a problem with is you got all of this stuff and everything with name, image, likeness, and now it's basically a free agency. And these kids are trying to test the waters and everything, trying to get several $1 million. They're trying to get $6 million for playing football. I don't mind them getting paid, but at the same time, there's nothing keeping these kids from getting $6 million one year, then jumping ship from that team to go play for another team who offers them $7 million or $8 million the next season. And that's my concern. You have to have some kind of safeguard in place so these kids don't just decide to play football one year, play football the next year, because that's the problem with the transfer portal NIL. And yes, Hoss, the NIL has changed the landscape. It's changed the game. The game's no longer about who can recruit the best. The name of the game is how much money can you shell out to the biggest superstars in high school football to come play for you, and how much more money can you shell out to them or shill out to them so they will continue playing for your football team. And quite honestly, I saw a graphic. Um, it's Texas A&M. I can't remember the others. It's something like Texas A&M, Texas A&M. I think Alabama's a top 5 school, but so is Georgia. But outside of that, I think FSU's like 8th. Think about this. Now, don't get me wrong. FSU would love to have the number 8 recruiting class in the nation. But let's think about Ohio State, who I think is under the top 10 in money that's available for them to like shill out to players. And they've been what, like a top 5 school in recruiting? What happens to them? Do they go do they get pushed down all the way to the 15th best team in the nation? Because let's be honest, the recruiting is a reflection of how your season is for the most part. Now, Ohio State's been recruiting fairly well, but this year they finished like what Michigan was fourth. Think they were like the sixth best team in the land, and they won the Rose Bowl. So I think they're like number 6, which is right around what their recruiting classes have been. Alabama has had several number 1 recruiting classes put together, and right now they're the number 1 recruiting class in the nation. Georgia, 2nd, 3rd, 4th recruiting class in the nation. Maybe I think we've had like one number 1 recruiting class in the nation. They're the number they're the number 3rd, they were the 3rd seed, but I'm pretty sure they'll have a number 2 mark beside their name because they play Alabama for the national title. So my point is how different do the teams become to fight for a national title when it's all about the bottom dollar? Um, and let's be honest, Travis Hunter is getting paid $2 million to play with someone called Dion Sanders. Neon Dion. And quite frankly, I can't blame Dion. It's heck, if I had the ability to reach out and say, "Hey, what about an NIL deal to get the number 1 recruit in the nation?" If it was legal, you would do it too, you know? And that's the reason why we need sanctions, we need some kind of way to limit people from being able to hop around from team to team. Whoever is the highest bidder goes the spoils. And I know not all kids think that way, but there will be in the near future, all these kids will have the same mindset. Let's get paid now, and then we'll play maybe 2 or 3 years in the NFL and be set for life. Make no mistake about it, it's not kids, it's also adults these days, that it's all about instant gratification. How much can I make now? How much can I get out of now? Rather than setting money aside in like a stock or a bond or something, or a 401k, or saving money in the bank account to buy property to rent out to people. No, instead it's all about what can I get now, and then we'll worry about the future later. But anyway, yeah, NIL, huge, huge, huge thing, college football is going through right now, and there's going to have to be some major changes to it. Well, I'm probably going to end off about here, 45 minutes. This is just a test stream. Thank you for everybody who came out to the test stream. Um, I'm just gonna have to learn a little bit more how it's going. Seems like it did pretty well. Of course, I'm only working with one light above me, and whatever the computer emanates off of me. So the lighting might not be great. I'm probably gonna have to get another camera too, because the camera on my computer is a little bit fuzzy. But all these stuff, I'm probably gonna get a better microphone or whatnot to actually do more professional things. But I think this microphone works well. It is a $50 headset, so it should do the job. But yeah, for now, this is what I'm working with. Thanks for joining in, being part of the test stream. We'll see you real soon. Y'all have a great night, and go dogs in that. Um, and for all of you Alabama fans, we'll see you, regardless of what happens, come Tuesday probably, because I probably won't make a video Monday, regardless of who wins, because I'll be dog tired. All right, see you later.